What do you think about
I
the
know,
new
but that's your
FOIA and the
daughter.
videos coming out?
Well, I hope they all come out soon.
You're
What do
hopeful
you
for them to come out?
Yeah, I want all of them to come out.
Gypsy's
I
not
want.
worried.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think that it's important for everyone to see
Hey,
everything.
see Nicole. Keep making content.
Okay, we are recording. Thank you for coming on to talk with me, Lulu. I really enjoyed your video about Dee Dee.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so happy to be here. I probably should have put Mothership Explorers in my little box because people are going to be like, "Who is Lulu?"
There you go. How's
Can I
that?
put it somewhere? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, so I think most everybody knows how I got interested in this case. How did you first come on to this case? We've talked about it before, but just a little rundown for everyone else.
Um, well, pretty much like everybody else, I think I had been watching the act, and I really felt so sorry for Gypsy, this poor abused girl, right? And
Mhm.
I did a video with from down the rabbit hole at that time, which is now Katie in the closet or Rabbit in the closet. And we
Yeah, I
were
like her
talking
stuff.
about, yeah, we were talking about Gypsy and how we felt the doctors got it wrong. That was like the title of my video was, they got it wrong. The doctors said that, her mother was fine and she wasn't sick and blah blah blah. The video's still up. Even though I kind of have my tail between my legs about it. But we were like pro Gypsy. Hey, she's getting out and, go, grab your bag, do your thing. You've earned it.
Yeah, a lot of people were, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. We all come around to the information in our own time. I took a hardline stance against Dee Dee, as everyone knows, until recently.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think that I always had an inkling that something wasn't right and I was ignoring my instincts,
Yeah.
'cause everything was telling me that my instincts were wrong. And every time I ignore my instincts, I end up being wrong. I should have always followed my instincts.
I get that completely.
Yeah, even with the video in Surviving Gypsy, I had originally made the whole thing about how Gypsy was lying to Dee Dee about walking, right?
Uh-huh.
And I forget exactly what happened, but something that I saw made me believe that I was wrong. And so I changed the whole thing to my second theory, which was she was just conserving energy. Well, turns out I was right in the first place, and it like put me back 3 weeks in my video to change the whole thing. And
Yeah.
but initially I was right in the first version of it.
Yeah, I remember talking to you during that time, and I was like, "Well, that's a plausible theory. That's not where I'm at, on the possibility that Gypsy was lying to Dee Dee about walking." To me, I really couldn't fathom that could even be possible until we saw that video, and then it just blew my mind.
Right. Right. So yeah, that's right. I was emailing you like going, "What do you think? What do you think?"
Mhm.
I don't want
Yeah.
to put out a big statement and saying like, "Ta-da, this is it," and using Dee Dee's own voice for it. Um,
Right.
that makes me just look like a complete fool. So I yeah, I feel like I need to add like a little disclaimer to it. I didn't follow my instincts.
I get it, I get it. Yeah, whenever I lived in Aurora at the same time as them before they got their habitat house, every time I saw a picture of them, I just had this instinctual recoil from Gypsy, and I was so ashamed of it. I could not understand why, because I had plenty of other people in my life with very visible handicaps, and I didn't feel that way, and I could understand why I felt that way about this from what it appeared a severely handicapped girl. Why would I feel that way? And I just, I was embarrassed of myself that I felt that way. Well, now we know.
Right. Well, I also think there's a huge misconception among people that if you are disabled, you're automatically innocent. And that's just the case. Disabled people are just like everybody else.
Right.
It's true though. We all have our demons, right?
Like evil urges, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, we have our dark side, our the bad devil on that shoulder. We have both.
Mhm.
I think that's just part of being human. You have, the side that tells you what's right and the right and wrong, and the side that says, "Ah, screw it."
Yeah, and I really try to imagine Dee Dee's growing horror as Gypsy got older and she realized more and more what that she was living with.
Yeah, and I think she was in a really tough position because as Gypsy was growing older and more mentally ill, Dee Dee was getting sicker and sicker and didn't have the energy to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, and after 2011, Gypsy literally shot her with that gun, chased her around the house, and then, according to her book, held her at knife point in the bathroom, like chased her into the bathroom, got her with a knife over the toilet, and held her there for a while before realizing she couldn't do it.
Wow.
And so I just, yeah, that's something that whenever I very first got the book, I got the Kindle version so I could easily search it because we know how Gypsy writes. It's boring. Even
Mhm.
with her ghostwriters helping her, she's
Right.
boring
It was
for the
talked
most
way
part.
up, that's for sure.
Yeah, and, so I just kind of searched for the parts that I was interested in and didn't intensely read all the detail. So now as I'm going back through looking for dates for this timeline I'm working on, I'm seeing things that I missed, and yeah, I knew about her shooting with the BB gun, and I knew she had a dagger in hand, but I'd never actually deeply read the detail there, and I didn't realize that she straight up admitted that she chased Dee Dee into the bathroom, and once the pellets or BBs were all out of the gun, that she had the dagger over her, and Dee Dee was on the toilet, and she held the knife over her.
Wow, and that was the moment that Dee Dee should have called the police and had her arrested.
Honestly, yeah, she was an adult by that time.
Yeah, she should have had her arrested, and should have not allowed her back in the home. Period.
It feels like after 2011, Dee Dee just mostly gave up, like, she realized that what she was living with and mainly just hoped that Gypsy wouldn't kill her, and unfortunately, that hope wasn't fulfilled.
God, can you imagine your life like that? Hoping that your daughter, who you've invested every last ounce of yourself into, doesn't kill you.
Right? And some of her last words, let me pull up a page in her book real quick so I don't misquote it. And now, obviously, we're saying Dee Dee's last words based on via Gypsy, so
Right?
that's not
One of her
foolproof.
last, yeah, one of her last sentiments, I'm sure, was, "Don't hurt me."
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, search for hurt me. Okay, here it is. Says the night my mother was going to die, I remember slowing the evening down. I think people would describe it as being in the moment. I took in my mother in a way I never had. I smelled that pillow, imprinting her scent in my memory like a hunting dog. I cried in the pillow as I spoke to it, saying, I'm sorry, but this is something I have to do. I wiped my tears, got back in my wheelchair, found her in the kitchen as she prepared my dinner. Interesting that she said prepared her dinner, right? Considering
Mhm.
what her and Melissa Moore
For
came
kibble.
out yeah, came out saying after she got out of prison. She says, I wheeled myself up to the back of her and hugged her waist. When she turned, she could see my eyes were a little wet. I love you, I said. Baby, she answered, I love you too, but I'm not dead yet. Was she really reading my mind? And then she says, after dinner, my mother and I ran an errand to Walmart, watched Merlin, painted each other's nails, liquid cotton candy. And I don't see the don't hurt. Where did we get I know the don't hurt me is well known, but I can't think of the source of it at the moment. Can you?
Uh, um, nope, sure can't.
Yeah, me neither. Whenever she describes the murder in the book, she says that she heard her mom say something that sounded like, "Who are you?" And then stop, enough, enough, please, enough. And then gypsy, gypsy, and then a sharp help me. Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine what she had to go through, but the more I look at dates, putting dates together, how certain things just stopped after 2011, and also, pictures of the house and things like that. I feel like Dee Dee gave up after that.
Yeah. Yeah. I do too.
According to Gypsy's video, that was also when she told Dee Dee that she'd been lying about her legs.
Mm,
She said in that video to Nick that 2011 is when she told her mom whenever
wow.
she wanted to go be with Dan. So all that would have happened, like, right around the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Dee Dee knew that Gypsy was dangerous, but I don't think she realized how dangerous she was. And she was burned out and sick. And she couldn't, I don't think she had the energy to do any more than what she had already done. She had been, I mean, taking Gypsy to doctor's appointments, different medical conferences, and doing everything she could to help that girl.
Yeah.
She was burned out.
Aaliyah said in an interview that she did just days after the murder that Dee Dee was, and I think this, pretty sure I remember exactly what she says. This would be a direct quote. Aaliyah said that Dee Dee was killing herself to do everything she could for Gypsy. And then she said Dee Dee would be just huffing and puffing red in the face, getting all of the Gypsy's stuff into the car for them to go anywhere.
Yeah, it would take a lot of effort, especially, when you have a kid who you think is incontinent, you've got to bring a whole lot of extra stuff, clothes, diapers,
Mhm.
a mat to put her down on to change her on, plus her feeding stuff, her G-tube formula, and I mean, it's a big ordeal.
I'm really, really curious if Gypsy had full-grown adults changing her diapers
I think she did, and
in
that
her
was also
20s.
something I put in my video originally, was that Dee Dee was changing diapers unnecessarily for years, and Gypsy enjoyed it.
I'm really, really wondering about that. I wondered about that too whenever we were listening to the interview of the lady, her name is Marsha something, who was one of their neighbors, and she said that Gypsy spent the night at her place a few times while Dee Dee was having sleep studies. And I thought, "Oh my god, I wonder if she made baby bottles for her and changed her diaper with Gypsy's grown butt sitting there."
I think that's why she didn't get to go to Rod and Christie's, because they didn't want to do that.
That's the impression I always got from
I mean,
what people would tell me that Dee Dee said. That they called her Dee Dee said they called her the R word at the Special Olympics and that they didn't wanna deal with her special needs.
well, maybe they were following their instincts. Who knows?
It's really strange. Have you listened to, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but there's so many things about Dee Dee that have come up lately that I just wanna get your opinion on if you don't mind.
Sure.
So, have you listened to the interview with Laura and Claude? Wasn't that weird as hell? Because they call and tell them that Dee Dee's missing, and they start ranting about a cactus, a beautiful cactus they believe Dee Dee killed.
I, I don't even know what to say about them, other than they seem like they've been sniffing too much fertilizer.
I did not know what on earth to think about that. Like, I mean, I know what I thought, and it wasn't good or fit for YouTube, but, it
Yeah.
was just, and yeah, and then it struck me as really creepy. They said, okay, I'm gonna start it here where she starts talking about the cactus.
Okay.
So she lies, yes.
Okay.
I don't hate her. What she did wasn't good. We had to go through the law to untangle the mess she put us in, but I don't wish her no harm or the child.
Right.
She tried. She put some poison in my food all the time. I was taking care of her over here with her foot. And then her little girl told me one day, she says, Papa, she says, I know why my mom's sick. She says, my mama put the same thing on your plant and your plant died. You had a beautiful cactus that her and her mama would try to kill. And after the mama died, a year after we got married, him and I, my husband had passed on 4 years before. And she says, that's the same vitamin she's putting in Momo's food, she says, that she put in the plant. I stayed 9 months in bed.
So I guess that's the source of the Roundup we've always heard about.
Well, oh yeah, that seems like a reliable, credible source. A 7-year-old pathological liar.
Right? And the story is just so dang weird. She says that Gypsy basically brought up everything. Like, that, I know why you're sick, that mom's been putting stuff in your food that she put on that cactus you
She's a
love.
little shit
That.
stirrer, you know that?
That's what I got that feeling listening to that. Like, I'm not saying that, Laura's interview is honest and accurate, but I just got the feeling that something was said there. And I wondered if Claude and Laura were sitting around bashing Dee Dee because they clearly hate her. And Gypsy, being, little shit stirrer with her dark impulses, is like, ooh, I'm going to get on their good side. I'm going to tell them something that,
Yes.
they'll get all excited about hearing about mama,
Yep. Just random thought. Have you ever come across that video on YouTube where it's an interview with an evil child?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it reminds me so much of Gypsy. I'll send it to you later.
Oh, yeah, I bet. There's certain times whenever Gypsy is speaking and she drops in the act a little bit. All of a sudden, she's not over emoting, or clicking tongue. If you heard my live today, that was funny. But, and I see that a little bit in her on the stand for Nick's trial. She wasn't completely truthful there, but she seemed very, very cold and emotionless, more than she usually is. And I feel like it's because she was kind of put in a position where she knew the act wasn't gonna do anything, you know what I mean? I see that in a few of her videos where all of a sudden the act and the emotion, the over enunciation of things goes away and drops, and she just is very cold and dead-eyed and just drops some facts, and it's usually something awful like, yeah, I didn't wanna lose her attention, so I didn't tell her about my legs, or, she's not gonna help us get a house, so we're gonna have to figure that out on our own, and it seems
Yeah,
like
I think
murder.
Gypsy very much is. This is what makes her so dangerous. She knows how to act like a quote normal person. It's all an act. The real Gypsy is somewhere behind that act.
Yeah, I think the real Gypsy is Demona and probably all the other characters because it's all projection, not someone who really has their own internal interest and things like that, just simply grabbing onto new obsessions.
Yep. I truly believe that's what makes her dangerous, is that she can come off completely normal.
And I don't think therapy helps people like her. It
No.
seems like any type of therapy session she goes to, or, book she reads, podcast or whatever, she instantly starts grabbing terms and weaponizing them.
Yeah, exactly. And she's learning more how to behave like a quote normal person from it, rather than taking the advice and using it for good. She's twisting it to her own benefit.
Yeah. She's never believed that she's actually guilty of anything. I think she actually believes her delusions in her mind. Just like whenever she was describing in the one video, she's like, I tried to tell mom that I didn't do that stuff. Demona did. But mama doesn't believe in Demona. She says, no, it's you.
Yes, it's Demona's fault. It's like having when you're a little child, an invisible friend.
Yeah. She probably told Dee Dee Demona was the one who shot and chased her down with a knife. So nothing to worry about. It wasn't me. It was Demona.
Don't look at me. Look over there. Look at Demona.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Right. She needed to be in a facility, in my opinion. A locked psychiatric unit from a very young age. And as you said, this is not something that can be changed or cured but it can be dealt with to a point. It's
I
like
agree.
pedophiles. You cannot cure a pedophile.
Yeah, and it seems that she might be one based on.
Yes, I think she is. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Yeah, she said in one of the emails that, her dad had accepted that she is not like other people and normal expectations and rules don't apply to her and that other people need to accept it too.
Oh, of course. She's
Right?
special. She's
Yeah,
special.
like that license plate. My name's special.
Should have got a little instead of F3I tattooed. Should have. Oh, by the way, did she get F3I tattooed, or was that just all of her crows?
I think it was just the crows.
No, it wasn't hot, but then again, I was also pretty amped up.
Right, gotcha.
It's been a long time since I've had to clear a house, look at other things.
If you hear something you want to talk about, just say pause.
Okay.
You did try to turn on at least a couple lights.
Just the ones in the master bedroom.
In the master bedroom, and then you touch the doors, and that's about it?
Yes,
okay.
Just the door knobs.
And then the window getting in?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know that my prints are on file because I've got a CCW.
Okay. And
What's a CCW? Let me Google that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, concealed carry weapon. That's normal in Missouri.
Did you notice any food out?
No. No, it didn't look like anybody had left in a hurry either. Also, I didn't notice any purses or anything. So.
And you said you went into the little garage there.
Oh, just the one on the side?
Yeah,
just open up the door. It's her playroom.
It's her playroom and nothing?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. See,
he's the one that went into the house.
Okay, your wife, Kim?
Yes.
Kimberly? Okay, you know where she is? Is she talking to somebody?
No, she's at home.
She's at home? Okay. That was my next assignment was to contact you all, so that's why I'm asking.
You need her to get up here?
Can she do that?
Yeah.
The range I don't.
You know what? It just hit me. The one I saw where David mentioned that had video visual. He was.
Oh, so this isn't it?
Yeah, so it's going to be one of these. Or maybe Carolina Girl has it up. Maybe Into the Weeds doesn't have it up yet. Yeah, I probably won't be able to find it. Yeah, well, that's all right. Maybe we can find them to clip them in tomorrow or something. It was also interesting to me, and I've hardly seen it mentioned anywhere else as far as documents and interviews. But whenever in the casebook, whenever the police first got there and started interviewing the neighbors around, they said that Dee Dee and Gypsy were both wheelchair bound.
Dee Dee?
Dee Dee had been using a wheelchair herself some in her last year.
Oh. But then we saw her pushing Gypsy in the wheelchair, right before she was.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't using it all the time, but apparently she was, having trouble and rolling around some.
Yeah, well, I could see where she would have some problems with mobility. She was very large and she was sick.
They said she had gout too, and we know about her diabetes, and then we know about her leg not healing back right after the accident.
She had a lot of things.
Yeah, that's why she was on pain pills perpetually. So yeah, that's a lot of things that could really affect mobility. And then if she really had alpha-gal, like it's looking like, that made it more difficult for her to eat in a way to manage her diabetes if she's allergic to most proteins.
Right. Poor Dee Dee, all stacked against her and doing everything by herself. I want to tell you how hard it is, how incredibly difficult it is to provide full care, even for a child. Children gain independence within their first few years. They're not completely dependent on you, but when you have someone who's completely dependent on you for everything, it's hard. Even when there are two parents taking care of the child. It was Dee Dee alone, and this was a very mentally ill child.
Do you want to talk any about your personal experience with that?
Well, I have a rather extreme situation with my own child. He's very disabled. He can't walk. He's very, very limited verbally. He has 24-hour G-tube feeds. He's incontinent. He has an ostomy bag. and he's got some OCD things going on, which make him really a challenge at times. Things have
Yeah.
to be things have to be a certain way, or he loses it.
And
So
that is a big part of why you've always had such empathy for Dee Dee, right?
yeah, oh, for
You
sure. I understood Dee Dee in a way I think, well, other parents in similar situations would also recognize these things in Dee Dee because we've lived it.
Yeah. Well, and I remember,
Not to sound like Ryan, sorry.
no, I get you. I get you completely, and I don't have experience to relate in that way, so I can only just imagine.
And I
And
hope you never do. I really don't.
thank you, thank you. I, yeah, for everyone listening, I know the kind of schedule that Lulu has to keep with the care that she has to do because 'cause we've had to reschedule a few times because she's only available at limited amounts of time.
Everybody I've spoken with has had the same issue with me, and it's really not a lack of desire. It's just the way it is. My son
Yeah.
doesn't sleep a normal schedule, so most of the
Mhm.
time, like he stays awake 2 hours later every day. So we're
Wow.
constantly working our way around the clock.
And
So if
adjusting, yeah.
so if he's like going to bed, let's say at 2 a.m. tonight, tomorrow night he's going to bed at 4 a.m. and then 6 and then 8 and then he might, stay awake for 4 more hours and then go to bed at noon. So we're all over the place, which makes
Yeah.
it really hard to commit to a time.
Oh, I can't even imagine, and that wasn't a complaint, I was just demonstrating to our viewers later that, I can definitely see from talking to you over a long period of time just how limited you are with the care that you have to give, and how that would have been for Dee Dee, and then it's so
And Dee
weird.
Dee's doing it alone. I'm not alone. And
Right.
that's really where I respect her and admire her for all that she did for so long all by herself.
And I really wonder after 2011 how much Dee Dee continued versus how much she just gave up on, and like we talked earlier, I really think that, that's when she kinda gave up on the house and everything, but I just after the giving the amount of care that we just talked about, I remember being shocked one time, but I hadn't given them any thought, and then all of a sudden I'm back, talking to my friend, and she, pulls up a post on Facebook that Dee Dee did about them and was like, "Oh, isn't this great? Look what Gypsy Rose is getting to do." And I was like, "Wow, she's still alive?" And I didn't mean to be insensitive, but the way it seemed when they got there, no one thought she would make it to 18.
Well, I think that's what they wanted people to think because that got Gypsy more gifts and trips and money.
That's what I've thought for a long time, but I have to wonder because what I was told whenever I said that was, "Well, yeah, it's a miracle because she gets such great care here." She's
Well,
living so much longer than
I
expected,
think
and
she did believe. I think she did believe it. I also don't think Dee Dee's going to risk putting herself in legal trouble when she's the only provider for Gypsy.
but yeah, I can't help but wonder if, Dee Dee actually thought Gypsy was getting better due to all the care. And then all of a sudden, how horrifying it would be in 2011 whenever she tries to run away and she's like, "I'm Demona," and is running around and chases her down with a gun and a knife.
I just had this really funny thing in my head go through. Gypsy running down the street in her red wig, screaming, "I'm Demona," and Dee Dee
"I'm
chasing
Demona."
after her.
Yeah.
"I'm
Like,
Demona!"
don't blame Gypsy for this. This is all Demona right now.
Oh, that's funny.
Gypsy's not responsible. Oh, man, it just when
Don't
you
call me Gypsy.
yeah. She probably really grated on her to have all of those actual charges from her sentence put in the gypsy's name because Demona did that.
But where's Demona's file?
Right? She's like, this doesn't even matter. Gypsy didn't do that. Didn't what I did.
Gypsy didn't do anything. Gypsy's an angel.
Right.
Well, maybe next time we can go over one of my videos.
That's what I was gonna say. We've talked about Dee Dee a lot, and this is, I think, a good happy note to cut it off on. And then maybe next time we could go over your video.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
let's do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it too. It was a lot funnier than I thought it was gonna be.
Same.
Okay.
The subject matter is dark. We have to laugh where we can.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think Dee Dee would begrudge us. She was
It's a good
fun
coping
woman.
mechanism.
Keep making content.